Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, this is that 999 that arrived today. I touched up the paint, actually just coated it with a light coat of oil, and as you can see, it made a tremendous difference in what this engine looks like. This thing looks absolutely new. And while I was at it, I just cleaned up the tender that I'm using for it. And $10.49, and like I said, this is probably one of the nicest 999s I have. I did encounter one problem with the E-unit. The coil for the E-unit was getting so hot that if you licked your finger and touched it, it would sizzle. So I went ahead and bypassed the E-unit so it runs forward only. But I pulled the brushes, cleaned the brush wells, cleaned the armature, cleaned the brushes in alcohol, cleaned the springs, lubed it, and tuned it. And this little engine is running just absolutely perfectly. Like I said, probably one of the best 999s I have. Missing the number on both sides, but oh well. And considering this is 72, 75 years old, something like that, you simply cannot beat the price, $10.49. And like I said, I was the only bidder, and that's one thing that I don't understand about this. Why would no one else bid on this engine? Like I said, the pictures weren't great, but I buy anything I can find that's cheap, and if I can't fix it, I just use it for parts. But in this case, I was really pleasantly surprised when I unwrapped this engine, and this looks like it just came out of the box. It runs perfectly, it looks nice, there's no damage to the paint at all. And by tomorrow, this oil will have soaked in, and I'll just wipe it down with a cloth, and I'll be running this for the next couple days. Just an absolutely splendid example of a Marx 999 that I got really, really cheap. And as I said, I get really excited about finding these things in this condition when you can find them cheap. It only took a few minutes to get it running, and I did have to bypass the E-unit. I was hoping I wouldn't have to, but if I encounter an E-unit that just doesn't work right, it's easier to bypass it than it is to try to mess with it. I'm definitely not going to pull them apart and try to replace it. It costs more to replace the E-unit than it did to buy the engine. So it seems really redundant to spend that much to repair it when you can bypass it for free. You know, it takes a grand total of 5 minutes. Anyway, let's take this around, see how it runs now. Just put it back on the rail, cleaned up this old tender, and it's not perfect, but it's good enough for now. The 999 on the other hand is just absolutely splendid. I was just delighted when I pulled this thing out of the box. So let's take this around. Power is turned on, pulling 21 tin litho cars. That's 50% power right there. So a really nice example of a 999 at a really bargain price. It looks nice, it runs well. You just couldn't ask for a better example of a 999. And like I said, considering this is 72, 75 years old, really, really difficult to improve on the results. This is running just absolutely splendidly. Let's take it up to 60% power. So as you see, 60% power, and this thing is absolutely purring. Let's turn it back down to 50%. Like I said, I get really excited about these things. I buy them now just for the challenge of fixing them. I've got 30-something of these 999s. And like I said, if I can't fix them, I just strip them for parts and use the parts to fix 4 or 5 other engines. A lot of parts in these engines that you can get really, really cheap. a single part would cost more than I paid for this entire engine. And as you can see, it's just running absolutely splendidly. And you just couldn't ask for it to run better than that. So it looked nice, it runs well, really, really decent shape. All I had to do was some basic lubing and tuning. I did have to break the motor loose, but running really, really well. Just can't say enough about this one. Really, really pleased with it, and pleasantly surprised. Like I said, the photos on eBay did not do it justice, that's for sure. I didn't think it was anywhere near this condition. In fact, they said that it ran, but you never know until you actually take it out of the box and put it on the rail and see. But it only took a few minutes, and as you can see for yourself, just an absolute splendid example of a Marx 999. Is it perfect? Nope, it isn't perfect, but it was inexpensive and it is running really well. And as you see, it looks virtually new. So I cleaned up this tender just a bit. It's going to be a lot of fun to play with this one. So I'll be running it for the next couple of days, make sure no bugs develop. And let's see how it runs. Just having a lot of fun with this one tonight. And like I said, Robin's out of town for a month. So I have literally 30 days to play here in the train room. And I'll be scouring eBay for more engines and parts, cars, anything that I can find. This weekend I'll be hitting some thrift stores and junk shops to see if there's anything that I can find as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And in this case, like I said, I was just absolutely delighted when I took this thing out of the box. One of the nicest 999s I have, and just running absolutely splendidly. So just wanted to do a quick video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email. BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.